Hi, this is Bob Rader Jr. I'm interviewing my grandmother. This is just so that my kids can go and tell their kids and their grandkids about who is part of my family. We call you Bubby, right? What's Bubby mean? Go ahead.
What?
What does Bubby mean?
Yeah, Bubby.
What does that mean?
Bubby means grandma.
Grandma, how old are you?
I'm 97,
What day were you born?
1915,
That's the year. What day?
June 1st, 1915.
Where were you born?
Berwyn, Illinois.
What was the hospital? Remember?
No, that was a midwife.
Okay. Tell me about when you grew up. What'd you like? What'd you go to school at?
Oh, I went to Hiawatha School, which was, I'd say about 4 or 5 blocks from the house.
Did you walk?
In Berwyn.
Didn't take a bus or anything?
What?
You didn't take a bus or anything, right? You walked?
No.
Do you have any brothers or sisters?
I had 3 brothers and 1 sister.
And their names are?
My oldest brother was Bob, then George, and then Hank, and then my sister Emma.
Now, Uncle Bob, what did he do for a living?
What?
Or your brother Bob, what did he do for a living?
He was worked at the Berwyn post office.
Okay, and Big Uncle George?
He was a policeman in Berwyn.
Okay, and then
And
Uncle
Hank
Hank?
worked at the post office also.
And your sister?
My sister was a hairdresser.
Now, any of them alive?
What?
Any of them still around? Are any of them still living? Are they still alive?
They're all gone.
Right.
I'm the only one out
Right.
of the 5 kids that's living.
Okay, and then, how old were you when you met Grandpa?
I was about 42.
No, when you met my grandfather, you weren't 42.
You said, how old was I when I was a grandma?
No, how old were you when you met Grandpa?
Oh, I'd say about 15.
And where'd you meet him at?
On the streets, I was roller skating, and one of the other fellas come along with him, and he introduced me to Grandpa.
Now, did he go to school by you, or what?
Well, he started at one school in Berwyn, was Kamensky, and then he had to finish, I guess, at Hiawatha. Kamensky school didn't have 8th grade at that time.
Oh, so then where'd you go to high school at?
Well, I went more or less behind it.
Which high school did you go to?
Morton East.
Now, is that where my dad went?
He went to Morton East.
What about Grandpa?
He went to Morton East.
Okay. Now, what was Grandpa's full name?
Grandpa's full name? All I know is that it was Anton Rader.
What was it? Did he have a middle name or no?
I don't remember.
Okay. Now, just some stupid questions. Grandma, what's your favorite color?
Blue?
Blue. What's your favorite food?
Any kind.
Any kind. What's your favorite food to cook for us?
Oh, well, let's see. Oh, I like breaded meat, pork,
Okay.
tenderloin,
Dumplings.
dumplings and sauerkraut.
Okay. Now, what can you tell me about your mom and dad?
Well, my mother and father both come from Europe.
Where at in Europe?
My father was in a little town in Czechoslovakia, and my mother was born in Czechoslovakia in what they call Melnik. It was by the river Elbe.
Okay.
And my father was born in a little town of Czechoslovakia that was noted for ice skating and rollers, anything to do with ice.
Okay. And what did your dad do for a living?
What?
What did he do as a job? What was his?
Well, my father was a tinsmith.
And did your mom do anything?
A housewife,
That's what I meant.
yeah.
Now, what can you tell me about your grandparents?
Well, my mother's father, all I can tell you about him is that he was a commercial, I guess, a fisherman, because
Okay.
they lived right on the River Elbe.
Okay, and what about your grandmother? Your mom's mom?
At that time, the women didn't work like they do now.
Okay, but can you tell me anything about her or any kind of stories that you remember?
I don't remember anything.
Okay. Now what about your you had two grandpas and two grandmas. What about the other ones?
About
Anything that you can remember about your grandparents? Anything, little stories?
I didn't know. They were. All I can tell you is that one of my grandmas. Well, in fact, both of my grandmas come here from Czechoslovakia, and my mother's mother, she was here till she was 90 years old, and then she passed away. And my father's mother was here. She wanted to come to the United States, and then after a couple of years, she wanted to go back to the Czech Republic.
So then did she?
She went back there and she died there, but she would have liked to come back to the United States.
Now, you said you grew up in Berwyn?
Well, I don't...
You grew up. Where did you grow up? You grew up in Berwyn.
I grew up in Berwyn.
So where else did you live? Where else were your houses at?
Well, then from after I got married, we lived with my in-laws, and then we lived with them about 2 years, and then we bought a house in Berwyn on Lombard Avenue. And we were there about...
Is that the house that I was at, or no?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the basement and the attic?
Yeah.
Okay.
What was I going to say?
You went to Cary.
And then where else? You had that other house, too. What was the other house?
Yeah, well, we lived in Lombard Avenue, I would say about 20 years, and then when Grandpa retired, we moved to Cary where we had a summer home. And the neighbor there was selling his house. It was a corner house. And it was made, it was really a resort at first, but they made it into a all-year-round home. And they were transferred to another states, and he wanted to know if we would like to buy it. So we bought that.
Next to the little house, right?
Yeah.
Now, I remember the one thing about the little house that I hated as a kid was what?
You mean the little house behind the house?
Yes. The one with the crescent moon on the door, and the outhouse. As a kid, we were always afraid of going there, but we loved it being out in Cary. Now, I remember years ago you told me a story about when you got married to Grandpa.
Well...
Tell the story.
Well, I went with him for a couple of years, and then he asked me to get married, and we eloped. We got married January 26th, and we didn't go to live together until June 1st.
So where were you living for a while?
He lived at home, and so did I.
At his house or at your house?
No.
Separate? You didn't live together. You lived at two different houses, right?
Well, after they found out we were married, we went and we lived with the in-laws for about a year and a half.
How'd they find out?
Well, my brother Hank told them.
What did he go and do that for? So you guys were married for about 6 months and weren't even living together then, huh? You were keeping it secret, huh?
Yeah.
Now, where did Grandpa work?
Grandpa worked at R. Donnelly's. It was one of the biggest printing concerns, I guess, in the United States.
And what was R. Donnelly known for printing?
They were printers.
Yeah, but what was their big thing that they printed?
Well, they printed, let's see, the telephone
The
books.
telephone book. That's the one thing I remember
Yeah.
was that.
And then they printed Life magazine,
Oh, I didn't know
Time magazine, Reader's Digest, but now everything's done by computer.
Yeah. Well, how long did Grandpa work at
He
Donnelly?
worked there 44 years.
44 years. Wow. And then you guys retired and moved out to Cary. Now, you had how many kids?
I had 3 boys.
And what were their names?
Robert, Tony, and George.
Now, Tony, what do we call Tony?
He worked for Fernie Lab.
Yeah, but what was his nickname?
What was
Babe.
it?
Uncle Babe. Why do we call Uncle Tony Uncle Babe? Who called him Babe?
Oh, because he was the youngest one, we called him Babe.
But I thought Uncle George was the youngest.
Uncle George.
Yeah, little Uncle George.
He wondered why he didn't have a nickname.
He did, little. As opposed to big Uncle George.
Yeah.
Now, what can you tell me about my dad?
You're dead.
Yeah, when he was a kid. Did he screw up a lot? Did he get in trouble? Was he
Well,
grumpy?
he was always smart. And loud.
Yeah, things haven't. Well, half of that's still true. He's still loud. Now he was a good student then in school. My dad.
He attended Havlicek, then he went to Lincoln, and then he went to Morton East.
Yeah, well, don't worry about that because my dad will tell me all that crap about him. I just want you to tell me like when he was a little kid. Can you tell me something embarrassing about my dad when he was a baby or something? Like he used to pee outside or
No.
nothing like that?
No. But
Did he do anything to his lip or anything?
Our
or-
Tony, when he was little, and so was Bob, well, I don't know what Babe did, but Bob come in and he cheated, not cheated, but he told us that Babe did something, so Babe had to come in the house. And I didn't, only punishment, I says, you gotta stay in the house now. And he was in the house looking at the kids playing outside, and he said to me, Ma, why don't you hit me and let me go out and play?
So did you hit him?
No.
I bet you wish you did. Maybe that's his problem. Now, what about Uncle Babe? What did he do when he went to the same schools as my dad?
Yeah.
Now, my dad was he joined the Marine Corps real young.
Yeah.
Did he have to get your permission?
He went to college, and he had some kind of test, and the professor there claimed that he cheated.
Uncle Babe or you?
Not me.
Uncle Babe?
No,
Not
your
me.
father.
No.
Oh, see now some dirt.
No, the professor claimed he cheated, but it wasn't true, and he quit Morton. He said if that's what he thinks...
Oh, not college, high school.
College.
Junior college.
Junior college. Oh, okay, junior
Yeah.
college. All right, Morton. Yeah, I've wrestled against Morton. All right.
Well, and he says I might as well join the Marines, and that's what he did.
Now, did he have to get special permission from you and Grandpa to go and do that?
Well, yeah.
Because he was young, right?
Yeah, and then Babe joined the Air Force.
Yeah. Now, Uncle Babe, he went to high school. Did he try to go to college too, or no?
No, he got his education in the service.
Yeah. Now he went and joined the Air Force right away. And how long was Uncle Babe in the Air Force for?
Oh, about 8 years.
Yeah, it's about 8, 9 years. Okay. And then Uncle Babe was stationed where?
He was stationed in Louisiana, and then he was shipped to Germany. And there he met his wife, and he married her.
And who was his wife? I mean, just so my kids know, what was her name?
He what?
What was Aunt Loney's name? Is what?
Apollonia.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you remember what her maiden name was at all?
Oh, I don't know if it was Fisher or something like that.
Okay. Now Uncle Babe got married.
What was Hansi's last name?
Hansi, that was Aunt Loney's brother. Hansi's last name is what?
I don't remember.
Okay. Now, Uncle Babe, did he get married before my dad?
Yeah.
I kind of figured that because then he had, how many kids does Uncle Babe have?
Just the two girls.
And what are their names?
Susie.
Yeah, that's the youngest one.
Yeah. And her name is
Lonnie
Luann.
Luann and then Lonnie Sue.
Lonnie Sue.
Yeah, but we called her Susie and we
Yeah,
called
we
Luann
always
Lou.
called her Susie.
Yeah.
But her name was Lonnie Sue.
Now, is there any reason that they picked those names that you know, or
Huh?
why did they pick Lonnie Sue and Luann?
Well, her mother is Lonnie for short, Apollonia.
Okay.
And Luann again. My mother's name was Louise, and my
Eloise.
my mother-in-law was Anne.
What was your dad's name?
Henry.
And,
In Czech, it was Jindřich
okay. And your maiden name is what?
Vidra.
Vidra. How do you spell that?
Vydra.
Okay. Now,
And that means in English, it's an otter.
an otter. Now, let's go back to your brothers. Big Uncle George.
Yeah.
Was he involved in any kind of athletics or sports?
Yes, he was very good in sports. In fact, when he was young, he swam against or I don't know how to say it, Johnny Weissmuller.
Now,
and
Johnny
Bus-
Weissmuller was known as.
Huh?
Most people don't know the name Johnny Weissmuller that are going to be
Johnny
young.
Weissmuller.
But what was he? What was his big claim to fame, Johnny Weissmuller?
Oh, I don't know if he was for wrestling or
No,
not.
what was he in the
Tarzan.
movies?
He was an actor.
My brother Hank
No.
was.
Oh, Johnny Weissmuller was Tarzan in the movies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh.
that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
now you said that he also swam against somebody else. I cut you off there. What was the other guy's name?
Was that Buster Crabbe?
And what was he?
A swimmer?
He was also an actor, though, too, wasn't he? So Uncle George swam against a couple of those guys. Do you know if he beat him or not?
I don't know, but
He-
Buster Crabbe also was Tarzan, and Buster Crabbe was also was the guy in the rocket ship,
Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon. He played Flash Gordon in the serials.
Now, so they were a swimmer. Now, tell me about Uncle Hank.
Uncle Hank, well, he was more or less a bohemian actor.
Uncle Hank, he was an actor?
Bohemian actor.
So
yeah.
was he in any kind of movies or anything? Or?
No.
But he also did athletics, too, didn't he?
Oh, yes, he was a gym teacher.
And what didn't he do some, what kind of events did he do? What kind of sports did Uncle Hank do?
I don't know.
Yeah. Gymnastics, that's it.
That's a sport. He said, Grandma said gym teacher.
Well, gymnastics.
Gymnastics. But didn't he do like the
Gymnastics, yeah.
pommel horse? And,
Yeah.
No, he taught them,
Well,
but
yeah, he was
didn't
pretty good
compete.
in gymnastics.
Now, what can you tell me about that Bohemian club that you guys used to go to?
The Bohemian Club?
Yeah, you had an award from him recently.
Suckle. Yeah. Suckle. How long
Oh,
were you
they
a
had-
member of Suckle?
The gymnastics is the suckle, and he was from my...
You. How long were you a member?
Oh, me? From about age 5 until I got married.
And more.
Yeah, because didn't you just get an award from them recently?
70-year award or something, or 75 year.
I was 78 years a member.
See, so that's a pretty good thing then.
Yeah.
Now, Grandma,
Ask about Auntie M and the Olympics.
that's what I'm getting to. Auntie M in the Olympics. What can you tell me about her?
She was very good in athletics.
And what did she do?
she was what the heck was she again? Competed in running, high jumping, and broad jumping.
So more like a decathlete then, right? With,
Yeah.
With the hurdles and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Now, did she compete for anybody? I mean, what does she?
Yeah, but I can't think of.
Babe Dietrichson's
Oh yeah,
Harriers.
Babe Dietrichson.
Yeah, no, Babe Dietrichson was a very famous athlete too.
Yeah, and a golfer.
Yeah.
But that's so long ago it isn't even true.
Yeah, well, now it is. What about you? Did you do any athletics?
Me, I was nothing.
Okay. Now, how about my dad? Did my dad do anything?
I don't know.
You don't do any sports?
He did some acting when he was in high school.
Yeah. How about any sports for my dad? Did he do anything?
I don't remember.
How about Uncle Babe?
No.
Uncle George?
All three
Well,
of us.
only in school.
That's what I'm
swimming.
talking about. Yeah, swimming.
In
Now,
school.
Uncle George has how many kids?
He didn't have any.
Yes, 3.
Uncle George.
My Uncle George.
Oh,
I know
your
for a
Uncle
fact
George.
he does.
He had 3.
And their names are?
Brendan, Kyla, and Lan.
Okay. Now, any grandkids over Brendan, Kyla, and Liam?
She just had a baby this
Foster.
June 30th. And Brendan, that's another grandson, he had one April 3rd.
Give me some names.
Foster and Nixon.
Okay. Now, what about
Lan has a daughter,
Lane has a daughter.
Yeah,
Melissa.
So right there you have 3 great grandkids, right?
yeah.
3 grandkids and 3 great grandkids. Now let's go to
Lou.
Luann. How many kids does Luann have?
She had 3.
And they are?
Patrick, Jenny, and Shannon.
Now, out of there, do we have any is great grandkids?
Jenny, she has 2 girls.
Okay, and their names are?
Trinity.
Yeah, I can't.
Tatiana.
Tassiana and
Trinity.
yeah.
Now, the other, Shannon and Patrick, have any?
No.
So that's 5 great grandkids, right?
No,
Yeah.
they're great.
Those are great. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Because
great. That's
Jennifer's
right.
the
Yeah,
great
and that
granddaughter.
makes 5 generations.
Okay. Now, you have my knuckleheads. You have Robert and Alex.
Who?
His kids.
My 2.
Oh,
My
Robert
babies,
and
Robert
Alex.
and Alex. And they don't have any kids yet either. So
How
that's
do you
good.
know?
I hope not. If they do, I better know about it.
Todd.
Yeah. Let's go with my brother, Todd.
He's got 2.
And
They are adopted children.
names?
Brianna and Tyler.
You could just trim on some of this
Yeah.
stuff. Tyler and Brianna. Now, Mark, because Debbie's married, but Debbie doesn't have any kids. My sister Debbie is married to Brian, and so far no kids, thank God. Now Mark is married to Mary Catherine,
Yeah,
and he has 4 kids.
yeah.
2 of them are adopted, and 2 of them are his.
No. 2 of them are step.
2 of them are step. Yeah, okay. 2 of them are step.
Michael, Patrick, Anthony, Kirsten.
So, how many grandkids do you have total, Grandma?
I got 9 grandchildren.
How many great grandchildren?
Oh, about 16.
How many great?
2.
Wow, that's going way back. Trying to think of what else I can ask you. We did your favorite color, your favorite food.
I told you pork sauerkraut.
Yep.
You never asked her if she worked.
Yeah, what did you do for a living, Grandma?
Huh?
What did you do? Did you have any jobs?
Oh, I worked first before it was Depression.
Mm-hmm.
And during Depression, I did housework. And I got $3.50 a week.
A week?
A week.
Was that good or bad?
Well, at that time it was good.
Now you don't. Now you get
And that was a full week.
40 hours.
And yeah, and
7 days.
I got Thursday afternoon off and every other Sunday off. And then when things start moving, I got a job at Bunty's, which was a chocolate factory. And there I got 29 cents an hour. So,
Now, when you were a kid, what did you like to do for fun?
what did I have to do for
What did you
fun?
like to do for fun when you were young?
Oh, well, I went to gym. Oh,
Any games that you like to play?
well,
or-
we used to play Red Rover, Come Over, and then hide and go seek, and jumping, the rope.
Jump rope. Okay.
Yeah.
She had another job when she was later in life. Where did you work at Cermak Plaza?
Oh, I worked at Murphy's.
Oh, doing what?
More or less a saleswoman. I remember one time, this one girl, they were not supposed to eat in the dressing room. And one of the girls come, I was floor girl at that time, and one of the girls that worked on the floor, she come up to me and told me the girls are eating in there and I can't get them out. So I went in there and I says, you can't eat here. And she says, you bitch, you're not gonna tell me what to do. And I turned around and I slapped her so hard.
So did she still work there? Did you get in trouble or?
No, that wasn't the one. It was kids from high school that were eating in the thing.
Oh. See, you were tough back then too, Grandma. Huh? Well, Grandma, I want to say thank you very much for telling me some stories. Hey, what is your favorite memory? What any other things that you want to go and tell?
I can't think of anything.
Any like special Christmas stories? What was your favorite present that you ever got?
I don't know.
Wrong answer. That would be me. I just want to say thanks, Grandma. I love you, Bubby.
Okay, don't forget to plug that back again. What'd you do, take pictures?
No, I just... I'm here with my father, Robert Anton Rader,
Senior.
Sr. Dad, when were you born? When were you born?
1936, March 17th.
So what's significant about that day?
It's St. Patrick's Day.
That's right.
And my cousins were born on the 4th of July and on Halloween, so the three of us were on holidays.
Now, I remember when Alex was born. When was my son born? Was the day after yours, so there was a big push to try and get him. Yeah.
The funny part about it was Diane was pregnant with him, and she was in the hospital on the 16th of March, and we're walking down the halls
Hallway.
in the hospital in Arlington Heights, and here I am between these identical twin sisters, both of them pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And then he screwed up by coming a day late.
Later, yeah. Well,
That's Alex, not Robert.
Yep. Now, tell me something about Grandpa. Give me some stories about Grandma and Grandpa.
Grandpa?
Remember when you were growing up? Yeah.
Well, Grandma, we recorded some of those things on. She mentioned to you when you were recording her that she was in gymnastics, and one of the things that happened to her is that, she was. You'd stand like this at attention, and she'd swing around like this, and one day she's like this in the gymnastics, and then she swung around like this. She farted. And another time, again with the gym, she was on the rings, and Grandma is pretty much endowed that way. And as she was upside down on the rings, her boobs dropped out,